It's me, Carly, and today I'm making a video about how I got scammed out of about 600 euros with a teaching job. Yes, and 600 euros is about 700 USD. Okay? Alright, so in case you've never seen me before, my name is Carly and I work for 51 Talk. It's one of the biggest, highest paying online ESL teaching companies, and I love it. It's great. Be sure to check out my other videos if you want to learn more about 51 Talk. Alright, but don't worry, this video has nothing to do with 51 Talk. 51 Talk did not scam me, thank goodness. Okay, let me just tell you guys, I don't really want to make this video, but I do want to make this video. I don't want to make this video because this is super embarrassing. I don't like talking about how I got scammed out of this money, but I do feel like this video could benefit some people because before I got scammed, I heard of other people getting scammed out of money in the teaching world, and I never, ever would have thought this would have happened to me, but it did. I probably will never see this money that I am owed. I worked for this money and I'm entitled to this money. I don't think I'll ever see it. So I want to help some other people avoid my expensive mistake, my expensive life lesson, and make this video to tell you what happened to me so that you can get some ideas to avoid the type of situation that I got myself into. Ah, here comes my dog. Hello, baby. Hi, who is he? Oh, look, it's so cute, baby. Oh, no. Say bye. Hi. Okay, bye, guess. Okay. So I live and work in Madrid, Spain, and that is where this whole debacle took place. But I think this situation, my experience, could be relevant to people online and offline because teaching offline and physically seeing a person is a lot more secure than actually just knowing a company from online. So I was able to be scammed with a physical company that actually is like one metro stop from my house. I still walk by it sometimes, but I can't do anything about it. I'm never gonna get my money, but you know, whatever. But when you think about it, all of these online companies, do you even have any idea how to contact them if they just don't reply to your emails, if they block your emails or your Skype or whatever? So I think this video is good for anyone who's teaching online or offline. You can learn some lessons from my pain, from the hit to my wallet. I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay, this happened about a year ago. I found a job through Lingo Bongo. Lingo Bongo is a website that you can use to find teaching jobs in Madrid and actually like all around Spain. So if you live in Spain, you can check out Lingo Bongo. I've used it before in the past and found really good gigs, and I think I just had a bad luck, okay? But this type of situation, what happened to me, has actually happened to many other people in Spain. I just never would have thought it would have happened to me, which is why I think it's great for me to tell you how it happened to me so that maybe you can avoid it, okay? Because I never, ever would have thought someone could get over on me like this. Alright, so yeah, I found this job through Lingo Bongo. I had an interview. The woman, she seemed like normal-ish. Her name was Keisha. And Keisha was like actually American, and she seemed really down to earth. She hired me on the spot, and she told me I'd be working at a big business. And I started like a few days after my interview, so it all happened really fast. I did try to do some research about the company before working there, but I couldn't really find much, and I thought it seemed pretty legit. It seemed pretty reputable. So how it works at this company is that the company gives you a contract, and then the company has a contract with a business, and then the business has like nothing to do with how me as a teacher, how I'm paid. It's all through this academy. So the academy is kind of like a middleman. All right, so the first day of work, I didn't know anything really about the business, and I was driven there by the person who interviewed and hired me. When I got to the building, I was like shocked because it was huge. It's actually a huge publication company in Spain. It's one of the biggest publication companies in Spain, and a lot of the things that they put out I know about. Like, they're really famous, and most Spanish people will know some of the publications that they have. So I was like, well, this is so cool. I had really great students, all adults, all like upper level English level. I was teaching directors, I was teaching human resources. I had a lot of really great students within the company, so I was really excited. The very first sign I got that something might be messed up about this company was on my first day of work. I was talking to another teacher, another English teacher. There's about 10 or so English and other language teachers at this publication company. We're all through the same academy. And I asked the other teacher that I met, I was like, "Oh, do you know what happened to my predecessor?" Because I knew someone else was teaching these classes before me. She was like, "Money," but she wouldn't tell me anything. She was just like, "Oh, something about money." I don't remember her exact words, but I don't know. I just thought maybe they weren't paying her as much as she wanted to get paid. Maybe she's having some issues because she's legally working, but I was legally working, and I was like, it wasn't enough of an alarm for me to just quit on the spot. So I continued working for the company. They paid me on time. The first month I was there, it was great. Paid me in full, on time, no problems. Um, with more time that goes by, I start to meet more teachers from the company, and they are complaining to me about money issues that they're having with the company. They're not getting paid on time, they're not getting paid the correct full amount, and then they're having to go back and talk to the academy and tell them like, "Oh, you owe me this," and like I was like, "Oh, that's bad. That's really bad for you." But they're paying me on time. I was a fool. I was a fool, and I kept working for the company. This Even though those teachers were complaining, they weren't really worried that they would never get paid. They all said that this academy has mu- money paying issues, but they always eventually paid. And I never really had a huge rush to get paid. I don't live paycheck to paycheck thanks to 5-1 Tech. So I was like, okay, well, if they pay me a week late one time or whenever, it's okay. It's no biggie. Well, I work there. Everything's fine. I'm getting paid on time, getting paid the full amount up until June. I get my pay for the month of May, and it's short about 300 euros. And I'm like, hey, you owe me money. So they're like, okay, okay, we're gonna look into it. The last part of the year goes by. I think there's 3 weeks that I worked in June, and I'm still not getting the 300 euros. And then they pay me for the June classes, and it's short about 300 euros also. And I'm like, hey, 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 where is my money? And they're like, this excuse, that excuse, excuse. And I'm just like, okay, I don't have time for this. I leave Madrid. It's so hot. If you've ever been to Madrid in the summer, it is hot. And I'm from Florida, and I think Madrid is hot. So I think that says something. It was so hot. I'm sweating just thinking about how hot Madrid is in the summer. I go ahead and go work in the north of Spain in the mountains. Um, I worked there for about a month. I go back to Madrid for a few days, and then I go to America. So I don't really have time to physically go to the academy. And I'm just like, okay, eventually they're gonna pay me. I also know that they owe a lot of other teachers money as well because I emailed all the other teachers. They accidentally sent an email where you could see all the other teachers' names, and I went ahead and emailed them like, hey, does this company owe you money? So I know like 20 people, more or less, they're owed money from this company as well. So I'm like, okay, there's no way they're just gonna not pay all of us. They need us. So I go home for the summer. I'm still emailing and trying to talk to the company about my money periodically. I'm not super worried about it. But then it's time for me to go back to Madrid in the fall. And I meet with the company pretty much as soon as I got back, within a few weeks. They really want me to come back and work for the company. They love me, my students love me, and they really want me to come back. So I have a sit down meeting with them, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come back to work with you. I wasn't gonna come back and work for them, but I was trying to like make them think I would, so they would give me money. They tell me, okay, we have actually gone bankrupt, and we are changing the name of the company. We have new owners, and we cannot pay you. But please come back and work for us. Then we'll pay you 200 or 300 euros. That's the best we can do. And they want me to go to this agency in Spain called Fogasa. Fogasa will pay about 80% of what the company owes me. So I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll come back. But in the end, things just kind of fizzled out, and they didn't even pay me the 200 or 300 euros because I was not going to go back and work for them when they owed me so much money. And also, what was super shady about the whole situation is they were saying like, oh, the owner's changed, but the owner had changed prior to May, prior to June, and they knew they had a cash flow problem prior to when I worked in May and June, but they still wanting me to keep working, knowing fully well that they weren't going to be able to pay me, as well as the other teachers, who are all owed between 200 and like 1,000 euros. So this company, in the end, they I don't think anybody got their money. I know a few people that are still going through the process of suing them, so maybe one day they'll get their money. But like I said, it's been a year. Oh yeah, it's been a year, a full year since this has happened. So who knows? I personally decided that for my mental health, I was not gonna pursue the situation anymore because it was really stressing me out. I was angry. Sometimes I was like crying. Just because if you've ever worked and not gotten paid for something, like it is infuriating. Like even now I'm telling you the story, it's been a full year and I feel angry that I got scammed like this. I'm so angry about it. But like I said before, I really wanted to help other people avoid my mistakes. So that's pretty much the story about what happened. I hope it's very clear to you. So let me give you some advice to avoid getting scammed by a company. All right, first of all, try to really do your research about a company before you start working for them. Google, Facebook ESL groups, Glassdoor reviews, okay? Check. Look and see if anyone said anything about not getting paid. Look at all the negative reviews. Yeah, sure, of course, sometimes people have vendettas, but see what the real scoop is. Try to find out as much as you can. If possible, try to actually get referred to a company by someone that you trust. Like, so if you trust me and you want to work for 5 and Talk, totally go for it, or go for any of the other companies that I recommend in my other videos. So if you don't know anyone in the online ESL teaching world, it's really up to you to do the research and find out about the companies. I personally would never work for a really small company that no one's ever heard of, just because. What are you gonna do if the company doesn't pay you and you don't know where the company is? So just be careful online and offline about the reputability of a company. Okay, the next tip I have is to get all the details in writing. Your contract should state everything as clear as day as it should be. How much you get paid, what the protocol is for taking time off, and how penalties work, everything. So read your contract or service agreement, whatever they give you. Make sure that that is all like legit. Okay, I had a contract through the company that I worked for, but there were some parts of it that I wish I had more into and like asked them about. But like I said before, the contract was in Spanish, and reading stuff in Spanish and legal terms, that is like very cumbersome for me. But now I would totally do it. I would get someone who speaks Spanish to help me read through it. Another big thing I think that would help is to try to work for a company that has some ties to the USA. 5 and Talk, for example, is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So I feel like they have more to lose by not paying their teachers in that way. Because besides that, how are you ever going to find these companies? Do you know where they are if they just ignore your emails? And the last thing about paying money. If you're paying money to the company, that is a red flag. Only once have I ever been asked to pay money to a company, and that was for a TEFL. I ended up not working for the company for other reasons, but it was legit. So just use some common sense if a company's ever asking you to fork over any money for anything prior to working for them. It doesn't really make much sense. Alright, so what do you guys think of my story? Have you heard of other people being scammed? Do you think this could happen to you? Do you think I'm an idiot? So let me know in the comment section below what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you like it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much. Bye!